Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Street Photography Shots Explained. So today I'm going to go ahead and talk about two of my street photography shots, and I do apologize for basically going missing for like the last 4 days and haven't been uploading anything. I've just been very busy, and I've also been playing with this drone right here. So this is the DJI Mini 2. I ended up buying this maybe like 2-3 years ago, and I have been using it often, but I wanted to play with it and basically get more familiar with it so I can do shots like this with this drone in Europe and everything. Show you guys a top view of different areas that I'll be at. So I'll go out. That's why I went ahead and played with that today, and the last few days I've been playing with it too. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys some of the shots now. So as you guys can see, I've been playing with it, just flying it around and everything. And I did have some options to go ahead and buy the DJI Mini 3 Pro and everything, because it has like different types of things that it can do. It can follow you and stuff like that. But I mean, honestly, this works just as well. And then, I already have it, so I might as well just use it and save some money and spend that money in Europe. So yeah, that's basically what I'm going to do. But today I'm only going to talk about two of my street photography shots because I didn't end up finding anybody to talk about their street photography. So we'll go ahead and talk about that. And for the first shot, it is called Morning Warmth. This shot right here. So for Morning Warmth, as you guys can tell, this actually ended up taking place in Central Park. So this was, I think it was last December when I ended up taking this shot. And how it goes is that I wanted to basically capture all of the pigeons. So it's pretty cold in New York City in December, so all of the pigeons end up getting in really high places or like sticking together to keep warm, but they also end up going to high places where the sun reaches first so that they can actually get warmth from the sun, because it's that cold over there. So whenever I saw them all lined up on the post, I wanted to capture them and show you guys that they were on the post, but I didn't want to just leave them, have them just be on there with nothing in the background. So what I ended up doing is that I ended up using that building in the background, and basically how I had to do this is I ended up having to walk to the side and figure out exactly where I wanted the tip of that building in the back to be, and then I had to walk forward actually, had to put the building inside of the frame of the post. So that's how I ended up putting the composition on this. And then if you actually look in the photo a little bit more down, you'll see that there's also another post that has a whole bunch of pigeons on it, basically all trying to keep warm as well. And I just ended up putting up the composition and angling myself so I could see both posts, and then I could line up with the building right there, and you guys can see what I'm basically trying to show you. But this is a very simple shot to explain, but I just want you to know that whenever you're creating a scene, you always want to move around and try to find the best angle, and you want to make your image not boring as far as just taking a picture of the post with trees in the background or something like that where you can't really see the pigeons. But since I ended up putting it like this, I was able to use the sky to so that you're able to see the pigeons much faster, and I was able to use that building in the background to create another subject in the image to make it like more appealing to the eye. But yeah, that's this shot right here. And for the next shot, so this shot right here was taken on the River Spree, So there's a whole, I think there's like 127 canals that are in Berlin. And what I wanted to do here is this is another one of the shots where you end up waiting for the composition to come in. So I actually ended up taking a couple of shots of this person sitting on the other side of the canal, you know, just sitting cross-legged and everything. And I ended up finding or seeing that there was actually a ferry was gonna go in front of him. And basically I wanted at first I actually wanted it to look like he was on the ferry, but how I was angled and how there was a fence in front of me, so I couldn't really go forward or anything. And so what I ended up doing is that I just waited for the ferry to go by, and I wanted to put him between the flag and the front of the ferry. So I ended up taking a couple of shots, and thankfully I ended up getting this one. This was actually with my A6400, so that's why it's not as clear, and I ended up having to crop. So that's exactly why it doesn't look as clear as my other images. But either way, you guys get the concept. Trying to make a composition with a ferry that's going by and basically creating your own scene like this. It didn't turn out exactly how I wanted because I wasn't able to, you know, put him on the ship because I wasn't able to go more forward. But either way, it still looks cool, and I was able to use the ferry as a competition for him. So it automatically draws your eye into where he's at, and you can see, you know, what I'm trying to tell you basically. But I ended up naming this a very obviously instant ferry composition. You know, very, you know, obviously you can tell that this is what I'm trying to do and, you know, what I was trying to say with the image. But this is just one of those shots. So that's the shot that I'm gonna go ahead and talk about. But why I'm using this right here instead of my other mics. So I have, you know, the Rode NT1, which is one of the mics that I, you know, love. That was actually my first mic. And then I also have the Earthworks Ethos, which is another really, really cool sounding mic. And I've been using those mics for a while. But the reason why I'm using this right now is because this is the setup that I'm gonna have whenever I'm in Europe. And I want to go ahead and, you know, get more familiar with it, with holding it and how I'm recording everything. So I'm actually recording everything into the Zoom H1N. I've had this little recorder for a while, but I haven't found many uses for it, but this is actually a really good use for it. It has alright preamps, and if you keep the mic close to you like this, you know, any mic that you keep close to you like this, it's gonna sound pretty good. But this has a deeper bass to it, so that's why I'm using this instead of a Rode wireless mic or the other Hollyland wireless mic that I have, because it just sounds way better. It kind of sounds like those mics, you know, the bass level. With a wireless mic, it doesn't get that deep. So that's basically why I'm using this right now, and I'm just trying to get familiar with it so that whenever I'm, you know, out and about with, I don't know, the Coliseum in the background, I'm talking to you guys about the shots that I ended up taking in Rome at that time, then I can just go ahead and do, you know, stuff like this, and I could just put this in my pocket and then, you know, record everything on this, and it sounds pretty good. And the good thing about these mics is that it actually focuses on my voice, and it's not going to pick up too much, you know, from the other sides, because it only picks up from the front. It doesn't pick up from the sides. If I end up moving it, you know, it picks up a little bit, but it picks up the best from here. So if there's somebody like in front of me or on the other side of the camera that's talking, you won't hear them as much as you would with like a wireless mic, because it's omnidirectional and everything. So that's why I'm gonna go ahead and use this whenever I'm in Europe and, you know, taking videos and everything. So the setup that I want to go ahead and do over there is that I want to do 2 days of street photography, and then on the third day, because most of the cities that I'm going to besides Switzerland and other exceptions I'll tell you guys in a second, most of the cities that I'm going to, they're going to be 3 days. So I'll do 2 days, you know, I'll pick a shot of street photography, and that night I'll edit the shot and I'll upload it. Then, you know, I'll do the same thing on the next day, and on the third day I'll talk about those 2 recent shots while I'm still in that city, so you guys can, you know, see what I'm talking about, and everything that happened is fresh on my mind on what happened, how I ended up taking those shots and everything. So with the exception of Switzerland, I think I'm gonna be 12, maybe 15, 16 days in Switzerland, but different parts of Switzerland. And then Paris is gonna be 4 days, because I feel like 3 days is not enough. And then London's gonna be 4 days, because obviously 3 days won't be enough. And I think Scotland is actually going to be 6 days, because I also want to stay in I ended up finding a hostel that's actually on the Isle of Skye, so I can go ahead and do some, you know, hiking and everything. And I've already booked everything, so everything's booked and everything's good. And I'm actually excited about the hostel that I'm gonna go ahead and stay at in London, because it actually looks like one of those like old homes. I can't remember exactly what it is, but basically it's one of those like mansion homes, and it just looks so cool. So I'm really excited about that, and I'll be sure to record the episode about the 2 shots that I ended up taking in London in that home, so you guys can get a feel of what I'm talking about. But this is also a good way to basically get rid of the reverberations in the room, because you're, you know, talking really close to the mic, and it's picking this up, and it's not going to pick up all the, you know, reflections of the room and everything. Sometimes it will, depending on if there's nothing in the room, but if you place yourself right, you'll be able to have really good audio. And you know, as many people online say, audio is what makes a video. You can have a really bad camera and, you know, just a mediocre video, but if your audio is bad, then nobody's gonna want to listen. But, you know, again, thanks for all the support, guys. Again, I do this, you know, just because I think it's fun, and I like making videos and talking to you guys about street photography and everything. I'm not doing this to get famous or anything. If you want to leave a like, you can leave a like. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe, but I'm not going to tell you to, you know, oh, I need you to subscribe, oh, I need you to like, because the people that I want to watch this is the people that are actually interested in the stuff that I'm talking about. And if you're not interested, then, you know, it's whatever, you know, just keep moving. There's a whole bunch of people that end up teaching you way better things about photography and everything. But I just want to basically give my 2 cents on street photography and, you know, the travels and stuff that I do. So if you like this, you know, show some support, I guess. But I'm not going to tell you, oh, you need to subscribe today or now, whatever. But yeah, again, thanks guys for all the support, and I'll go ahead and catch you guys next time.